everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Curve. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for downloading. My name is Jimmy Putnam. I am your host. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Joshua Vossler.
Hello, everybody.
And Will Doherty.
The Italian Stallion.
I am just back hot off my stint on jury duty. Actually, I was called to jury duty this week, but I was notified today that my trial was canceled, so I'm a free man. I didn't have to do it. Dodged a bullet? I don't know.
So is it safe to say he settled out of court?
Either that or witnesses were murdered. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. It's probably... I don't want to get prosecuted for jury fraud. Is that a thing?
I bet
not,
it is.
Not if you're not ever on the jury?
Yeah, I don't know. Either way... it's something I certainly don't have to do this week, which I feared I was going to do, so I really should have put more effort into preparing for this show, but I didn't. Instead, I'm just going to introduce our guest this week, comedian Nick Allen. Yay, Nick Allen, everybody! Hey, how's it going? Hey, yeah.
You're too kind.
You didn't expect a sitting ovation, did you?
No, I did not.
No, okay.
I've never seen such a thing.
Nick, how you doing?
I'm good.
You have been doing comedy for how long?
It'll be 9 years in April.
9 years. So in the Nebraska comedy scene, you are a veteran.
Yeah.
Been doing this for a while. What is it like to see comedians, both young and old, come and go over the years, flame out, and just keep on trucking?
Most people who move away don't flame out. There's some people that stick around and flame out, but one thing that happens at Omaha and Lincoln is people get funny and then they move.
Yeah.
Like Will was gone for a while. Like you probably did it, 7-8 years?
Yeah.
Will's been around for a long time too. You see people, if everybody who was funny from Omaha and Lincoln had stayed here, this scene would be completely unstoppable.
Right, yeah. There are a lot of people who have moved to Austin, Denver, other places, Chicago.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
Yeah, right. What's kept you here?
My wife and kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time.
Unwilling to just pack up to pursue your comedy career.
But I feel like I can pursue it here. Like, I don't want to move to some other city and be like, hey, we're moving to New York so Dad can do 20 open mics a week. Like, I'm not gonna... I'd love to move to New York, but our families are like, I like living here. And I feel like there's enough opportunities where if you want to put the work in, you can get better.
I've kind of had that same sort of thing, which is like I didn't really start doing comedy until my late 30s. And, I see a bunch of my friends doing that. One of the things that's weird hanging around a bunch of people who are like 23 and 25 is that they can just pack up and move to a different city and like, I'm going to give this thing a shot.
Right.
And I have that thought all the time where I'm like, yeah, if I was 22, like that'd be a thing I could consider doing, but sort of can't do that now.
Right.
My wife has a good job here, and so I'm pretty much here. But, and also, like, that seems shitty to me now. Like, I don't want to go crash on couches while hitting open mics every night.
No, it doesn't sound like fun at all.
So, you, Nick, just auditioned for Last Comic Standing, and we're still waiting on results, so we don't know exactly how that went yet, but here's what I want to ask you about that. I've seen you do comedy a bunch of times in a bunch of different venues over the years. I've seen you destroy at the Funny Bone and bomb at a shitty dive bar. So when you're putting together like 5 minutes where you've really got to impress somebody after 9 years of doing comedy, like what is that process like? How do you decide this is my 5 and like that is going to be representative of what I do?
Yeah, it was actually 3.5.
Okay.
You had you had 210 seconds, like literally,
right,
to put it all together. But I just picked jokes that I wanted to tell as much about myself as possible. So I picked a joke about having kids and being broke. Then I do like the weed in Nebraska. Hey, I'm from Nebraska. I'm broke. I have kids. I'm from Nebraska. And then by the end, I have a gay dad. So by the end of by the end of the set, I wanted somebody to be like, wait, let's see what else is going on here. Because it's not a whole lot of time, but I want to be like, I've got all this shit going on. Take it or leave it, really.
Right. Are you polling stuff? Do you still do stuff from 9 years ago?
There's like one joke that I did when I first started out about how the German restaurant. I do a joke about we used to work at a German restaurant and the snowman out front would have his right arm up in the air. Like
Right.
that, I've done that probably the longest. But that's a joke that I didn't do for probably 3 or 4 years, and then I just fucking remembered about it. I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. Fucking that's fun. Let's do that.
Right. I just what do you do? Like what do you do? Do you keep track of material? Do you write things down? Like, do you keep like a spreadsheet of jokes, or like how do you?
I have them in my pocket.
You just
here.
went into his
I
pocket.
have all these folded up pieces of paper that one of them has.
Are those just on you at all times?
Yeah. I've got my calendar. I've got like some shit I need to know this shit for Wednesday. Like, and then I always try to have a sheet on there that just has like my act on there.
Right.
So if I had to from like a recent like 45-minute set or something, I'll just have everything on there, and then I'll start adding new stuff. And once that paper gets all tattered, or I have to put together a different set for like a next longer, that'll rotate.
You're organized like my aunt who has a smartphone but doesn't know how to use it. She's just like, it's old school, but I like it.
Yes, like this list here, that's what like I would go off of for like a longer set.
All right.
And usually I try to keep that nice, but I ended up writing a bunch of shit on the outside of this one. So. It's a mess.
Well, do you have like a play like at home? Where do you keep your 9 years worth of material, or is it just that?
It's in the garage.
Okay, yeah. You just have like a box of stuff.
Well, there's like a Rubbermaid container that has like some file folders in there. And then there's folders that I've pulled out of there, and they're like stacked up under. Like I have a big table in my garage, and I'll just stay up until 3 a.m. Not really working on that shit, but watching these Freely videos on YouTube, looking at the stacks of paper.
Right. You host a comedy show called Fancy, right?
Yeah,
that's your show that you run. Is that the only show you're hosting right now?
Yeah, and I'm actually not hosting on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and
that's the show that I'm doing.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's at the Reverb in Benson. It's a cool spot.
Yeah,
it's right by the waiting room. So the dudes who run the waiting room, 1% Productions, run that venue. Those guys are cool as fuck.
Cool. I've never been there, but I did want to talk about venues for comedy because particularly you and Will over the last few years have probably performed in a shitload of different places, like big rooms, small rooms, dive bars, like sports bars, like any kind. Like, what have you guys both seen just over time in terms of like what does work, what doesn't work, what makes a venue, what makes a room work for comedy?
You immediately looked at me, and I was like, I don't know things. Here's the thing. I feel like there's rules, but also those rules are remarkably inconsistent because I've seen great shows happen in the shittiest environment imaginable.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's really hard to kind of peg it down to exactly what makes it good or bad. I don't know. What do you think?
If there's people there who know there's going to be a show and the attention of the place is going to be focused on the show, like that helps.
That's
more
true.
than anything, because you could be at a fucking conference center or whatever.
The reason I ask is that recently there's a bunch of venues where comedy is being performed where I feel like the venue has done its best to kill the show. Not through any fault necessarily of the owner, but mostly just through ignorance. Like Josh's comedy group used to run shows at the Cask, and it's a fairly nice bar, but, and I don't really give a shit if this gets back to him or not, the bar owner was such a fucking tool that, like, no one wanted to go there. I couldn't even stand to be in the place because the guy was such a dickhead. He was just drunk as shit behind the bar, and the owner / manager would heckle the comics from behind the bar.
That's not good.
While people were performing.
Yeah, fuck that guy. What was he yelling?
Oh, just...
It's like,
you still got a tab, asshole.
I missed that. Tell it again. He did that to Casey Crawford.
What did Casey say to him?
He's like... I don't know. I remember he's just like, no, sir, moving on. You know, like
my wife used to
funny as fuck.
My wife used to complain that guy, I think his name's Jeremy, would just would creep her out so bad that she just didn't even want to go in there either. He would like he would just lean over the bar and like try and upsell women on like the high-end liquors in their drinks. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I want a gin and tonic. Give me the well. I don't care. And he would like kept trying to get her to taste different shots of things and just, and he was just lit up the whole time and just super creepy. It was so fucking weird. And it was like, that place could have been so good to run shows because
it had what you needed. And it's a cool place to hang out and drink. I think
the first couple shows there were people in there too.
Yeah, we had some good shows there. It just fell
still open.
It fell off pretty quick. It's down in the Haymarket. Well, I was talking about that with James Lindsay about like shows in Lincoln, and he's basically like, you need to have a show where there's already people going there, like Duffy's on Mondays. There's just going to be people there no matter what.
I love doing shows at Duffy's.
The problem is though, is like a lot of places. Duffy's been doing it a long time, but like a lot of places, they'll want like, okay, Wednesdays we're slow. We'll have you come in, but they don't have, they want you to come in and do comedy because they think it'll be a draw. So there's not people there. Now, a place that already has, built-in, customers that are going to be there all the time are going to be like, they're going to be like, we don't need comedy. We already have people here. So it's like, convincing them that, they'll stay longer if you do comedy, like, that's my thing about it. Is like it's going to be a big draw. We tried doing comedy at a bar called 10 Below, and they were just like, yeah, we'll do comedy and people will just come. And then we're like, no, it's going to we're going to have to promote it. And then they promised all this promotional stuff that they didn't do. And then of course it just quickly failed.
That was another venue too, where I went there to do comedy a couple times and we'd show up and there would be no bartender. Like the show would be at 8, it'd be 7:55 and there's fucking no one in the building. Like we're walking around going where, nothing's like it. And then at 8:05, a guy would walk in and turn on the PA system and there'd be, 10 people in there waiting for a drink and another 10 people have left because they came in and were like, I need to get a drink. And there was no, and the bartenders are in the other, like that's another one that was like connected to some other place. Yeah. And they just didn't give a shit about it.
Yeah, it was a total afterthought. Like, it really went downhill when we had a show planned. I invited people, to come. They said they were going to come. We show up early to set up, and they're like, oh, we have a reunion scheduled, so we're not going to be able to do it. I'm like,
what kind of reunion?
How the fuck does that happen? Well, high school reunion?
That fucking just happened when we did.
Just gone.
I just went and did Dan Vaughn's show, Throwback Thursday, which ended up being a great show, and this is no fault of Dan's who ran it. Like, Dan ended up pulling off a great show, but it was at Styles Pub. We went there. There was no PA system because the owner of the bar had loaned it to his cousin 2 days before and never went and got it back. And then none of them were answering their cell phones the night of the show. So we're in this bar to do a comedy show. There's no mic and no PA system. So we ended up just trying to yell our jokes at the crowd. And honestly, like, everybody on the show kind of did well, and it was fine. But it was so fucking infuriating. Like, who does that?
That you need one thing. You need a microphone. That's it. What do you need? Do you need a microphone?
What we really needed him to do was nothing. Just don't touch what's already there.
Leave your shit in the basement.
He actively fucked up the show. It's so frustrating. Dugan's here is going out of business. And like they had just started running a bunch of comedy shows there. I don't want to talk too much shit about it because I like Monty Peck, who runs the shows. He's a good fucking dude, and he did what he could to get comedy going there. But like, nobody wants to go to Dugan's because it's not clean.
It's probably why it's closing.
The bartenders are like rude to people. I mean, every time I would go in there, the fucking bartenders would make you feel like you were bothering them to like get you a drink. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot.
I like it though.
I do know what you mean, and I felt that way. But I feel like that in every public place all the time. So like I assumed that was just me, but that was them for once.
No, check out the two guys who bartend at Duffy's on Monday night. Tim and Jordan.
Yeah,
they're
great.
Fucking great. Like, they know what they're doing. They mix good drinks. They're friendly. Like, you don't have to sit around and wait forever. I mean, in that place, a lot of times it's fucking packed. And those guys are
Duffy's
on it.
rules.
Yeah.
They have an appreciation for the comedy too. They said they'd rather work on a comedy night any other night.
I think it's just a basic pride in, like, doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, those guys just want to do a good job because they want to do a good job.
Yeah,
And they
well,
want to make people feel welcome in their bar.
well, and I
It's
think
not that hard.
an important difference with that show, with Duffy's on Monday, is that they give a shit about the comedy show. Like, when there's drunk people who are just being disruptive, like, they throw
walk
their
'em.
asses out.
Yeah.
And that, like, most bars would not ever throw out somebody who's drunk and belligerent if they're buying drinks just because they're fucking up the comedy show.
Yeah.
Or at the
They don't shut the
cask.
pool table down though.
Well, no.
Right.
But it's
At
never
the
really
cask,
hit you,
they
though.
just join in.
Yeah, I mean it's so frustrating that, like, you can watch these things happen and you can go, okay, I know that a business can't sustain itself operating this way because I know what successful businesses do, and you're not doing that.
Right.
So-
Brewskis, I've liked going to Brewskis lately.
Yeah, man, you just did the Comedy Underground show there.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. was
Brewski's
fun.
is a cool bar. Actually, talked to the owner. The bar manager is a fan of the same college basketball team as me, Kansas Jayhawks. So I go there to watch basketball sometimes during March.
I thought you were going to say a fan of the show, and I was like, and then you said yes.
No, you didn't know who the fuck we are. The guy. I did meet the guy who owns that place, and he didn't know what a podcast was when I talked to him about it. Do you remember when we did our thing there? So that was kind of fun.
What's that?
Right. Okay, so we're going to talk to Nick Allen about comedy more in a little bit, but right now we have a call-in segment. So what happened was I got a message from a podcast reviewer who wanted to call in and talk to us about our show. So I'm just going to introduce him right now. We've got him on the line, Sebastion Schroeder, I believe.
Yes, hello, Jimmy Cuff.
And where are you calling in from?
I am from Berlin. It's in Deutschland.
Yeah, that's what
Germany.
we had one German listener. We talked about it on a previous show. We didn't know who it was. Remember we were
yes,
getting
that was me. That was me. I listen to podcasts from all over the globe, and then I review them and put them on my blog.
and you
Well, we should say to all of our listeners in Deutschland, Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, yes. Now
I do not get that joke. Sure it is. America has different humor than Germans. It's fine.
I'm so excited that you heard about our little show.
Yes. I wanted to talk to you and ask you some questions.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Fire away.
okay, well, I saw recently, Jimmy. This is a question for you.
Yes.
I saw recently that Nebraska has lifted its ban on gay marriage.
They have.
Now-
We're all very excited about that.
What is your opinion on this issue?
Oh, I'm very happy
Well,
about
I'm
it.
sure whatever it is, it will never be swayed or changed, no matter what. Let's see here. William Dougherty, am I saying that correctly?
That is correct.
That 100%.
William Dougherty.
Okay, are you sure? Okay, I want to make sure that I have it correct for my blog. So
But
Dougherty.
Technically, it's Doherty, but I didn't want to correct it.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes
Well,
much more sense
as-
that the word "Joe" would be
as
in your
he
name.
would say it in his
Okay. All right, gotcha.
William, I especially like your Slop 40 segment.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, where you take perfectly fine pop songs and shice on them to make yourself feel better. Oh.
Sure. It's like I feel like it's equivalent to the Shizer porn that your people are so well known for. You take something perfectly nice and just shit all over it.
I am unfamiliar with.
Shizer.
I will do the talking during this interview.
Okay, all right, good. Fair enough.
Just like it, but it's Slop 40. It's fine. I guess people like it, but I guess that's what comedy needs: is more comedians telling everyone why everything they like is scheisse.
That's basically what we do.
You are so brave, William.
That's basically what we do, Sebastian.
All right, with Joshua Wassler. Am I saying that correctly? Wassler with a V.
Yes, Wassler with a V.
All right. You are the one that does the news. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, I only have one thing to say about that. Keep up the good work. I very much enjoy it. It's very funny.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very nice.
You are the highlight of the program.
Wow, wow.
Jeez.
Thank
And
you.
don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Thank you. We have T-shirts for sale, so I don't know what the shipping and cost and handling will be, but we can send it to Germany, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Joshua, you're a bright shining light in an otherwise darker place.
Now,
However, Joshua, if I had to find one thing to complain about this year, it would probably be your catchphrase.
Oh, you don't like those?
Hello, everybody. I don't get it. Everyone says that.
Yeah, I think it's...
Right, guys? Everyone says that? Okay. Jimmy, who is your guest this week?
Oh, yeah, we're here with local comedian Nick Allen.
Nick Allen?
Yeah, he's a pretty big deal around here in Nebraska. I don't know if you've heard of him over in Germany.
Yeah, I just Googled him and nothing came up.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right. You guys have been fun to talk to. Before I go, though, I just a few more questions. How long have you been doing this program?
Oh, we've just started in September, so not that long.
Oh, well, it seems to be successful, I guess. What is your most downloaded episode?
It was actually
The pilot.
The pilot was our most downloaded episode. The second most was one featuring local comedy legend Dusty Stell. But again, over in Germany, you've probably never heard of him.
And actually, I have heard of him. He is actually quite delightful. I do believe, however, that Dusty Stell was just on television. Yeah, he was on a sketch comedy show.
Yeah. What was that?
It's called Omaha Live.
Never heard of it.
It's already gone viral over here in Berlin. Maybe Lincoln Comics are just too pissed off that they weren't in it. I don't know, but I believe the sketch that he was in is now online, streaming online. I'm sure that if you check out his Facebook or Twitter, that you could find it's on there.
We will direct our listeners that way.
He was very, very funny. And,
okay.
Nebraska is just so blessed to have such a wonderful comedic talent.
Well, let me ask you this, Sebastian. You've reviewed our show. Do you have like a grading system or something like that?
Here in Germany, we basically it's either okay or not okay. And so you guys...
Okay.
We try not to create too much of a class system.
The Germans aren't a judgmental people.
We're trying to get past that. It's been a 70-year upward battle. But
Okay, good.
Well, I'm sure we could go on for days about how great Dusty Stell is, but I must be going. I have another podcast to call.
Okay.
I believe it's a video podcast, and I believe it's in your same city.
Oh, really? What is that?
Yeah. I believe it's something live at the smokehouse or something.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually very big here in Germany. Many people, but like I said, we have a different sense of humor, so maybe that is fine. I don't know.
All right, well, good. Well, good luck with your reviews, and we appreciate your call.
Yes, thank you very much, Jimmy, and the Jimmy Curve program.
All right, well, Sebastion Schroeder, everybody. Podcast reviewer Sebastion Schroeder. Thanks for calling in.
Shalom.
All right, bye-bye. All right.
You guys are going global.
That's right, we're going global. Let's get back into it. Our call-in podcast reviewer there did mention something interesting that happened today, which is, what was it? I wrote a note about this. U.S. District Judge Joseph Battalion overturned the local ban on same-sex marriage today. Thoughts on that? Do we care?
It's still not done.
Yeah.
And he gave him time to appeal. He should have just been like, fucking... here's what's happening. Fucking deal with it. They're getting married. Fuck off.
Right.
I think it'll be good now that we can actually like get back on track and we can focus on real crimes like marijuana abuse, seatbelt laws, smoking cigars in bars, and assisted suicide.
Assisted suicide. All right.
No, like I this is a genuine question because you're a card-carrying libertarian.
Yeah.
Now, are you... I assume that you would be, in general, you would be in support of gay marriage as just a personal freedom issue, but, like, does any part of you, like, have the other side of it where, like, you think it should be a states' rights issue, where, like, a judge shouldn't have the right if, like, the voters... Because, like, the justification that... the governor is given for, like, appealing the ruling, he said, was that there was a vote some time back that said, like, 70% of Nebraskans were opposed.
There was, but that's unconstitutional to do that. You can't vote rights away from a certain group of people.
No, you got to talk into the mic.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
You can't. The majority can't vote on the rights of the minority. Like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. They shouldn't have even fucking made the ballot.
As a libertarian, I think you have to treat everybody the same. On the other hand, too, as a diehard libertarian, it's crazy to me that we have to accept the approval of any state to get something like marriage. Like, you have to have the approval from a state to get married at all is weird to me. Like, a state has to recognize legal marriages as if it was something like, getting your car registered or something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's crazy to me. I don't think the government should be involved in any marriage at all. It just seems ludicrous to me.
I've always said that too. Like, it does. Like, I mean, I support obviously equal rights, and I think gay marriage is a step in the right direction. But yeah, big picture. I mean, I completely agree. Like, why does the government have anything to do with marriage at all? And like, it shouldn't even matter. Even if you are a homophobe, like, even if you hate homosexuals irrationally, you should still be opposed to the government telling you who you can and can't marry. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't seem like the purview of a government.
A lot of those guys, now that it's legal, they're worried that they're gonna like get one.
What do you mean?
Now that it's possible to marry a dude, that they're repressed.
They're gonna get tricked into a gay marriage.
Come out. Yeah. Right. Now that it's possible, they're like, oh fuck. Yeah. It's like another fucking deal.
I mean, I think the entire opposition to this is just an appeal to people who think like that for votes, is all it is. It's politicians appealing to homophobes because they think there are more of them than progressive
and there's
people.
not anymore. He said that's the 70% statistic that Rick gets quoted. It's from fucking 15 years ago.
Right.
A lot has changed since then.
There's like a religious aspect to it too, like where there's a lot of laws and things that we consider to be bad because of religion, and then we turn it into a law to prevent things from happening, which is crazy.
Come back over here, Mary. Yeah. Mary was trying to show me something, and I couldn't tell what it was. Like,
in 2000, the Nebraska Constitution added I-29. Only marriage between a man and a woman shall be valid or recognized in Nebraska.
So that was the law that banned gay marriage?
Yes, in 2000. And I will be talking to my state senator tomorrow because I didn't know that was there.
Well, it's just that's what the government does. We don't think this is okay. You can't do it, even if it doesn't hurt anybody. Like, that's why I'm a libertarian. It's not just a gay thing, and they do it with a lot of things. What you can and can't eat, what you can and when you can drink at a bar, whether you can smoke. That's why I brought that up. It was a joke, but it's also true.
Yeah,
you know, you can't. I'm going to give you a ticket because you're not wearing a seatbelt, even though that doesn't hurt anybody else.
But there's a difference between those things. Smoking at a bar, the reason that smoking at bars is banned is because they're trying to get more people to go to bars who don't like smoke.
Bars were doing pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think they were hurting. Plus, if it was such an appealing thing, they could have kept the law the way it was. And then if it was such an appealing thing, it'd be like, well, it's good business to not allow smoking in our bars, or a new bar would open up.
It should sort itself out.
Yeah, it would if we gave it time. The problem with government is we get ahead of ourselves and we try and fix things before they're a problem. You know, and that ends up being a problem. Yeah, unintended consequences.
Right. Yeah, I I still happen to. I mean, I still think that like it's the inability of politicians to understand that the views of voters are changing. Like I know I'm from Kansas, and I the one thing that Nebraska can always say is that at least they're not Kansas in terms of like retroactive oppressive conservative laws.
That's like, well, I only have HIV.
Right.
At least it's not AIDS.
Yeah. It really is, because like, no matter how backwards this state is, like, oh my God, like the Sam Brownback, who's the governor of Kansas, is like, he would have people just dress in Puritan garbs, and you know, but
people
like
vote for that guy.
They reelected him, and that's what it is. I see. That's my thing. Is like I'm not even sure he believes that. He just knows that there are enough people in Kansas who do that. In order to get elected, that's what you say.
But then why are you getting elected then? Just to fucking get the car, have somebody drive you around, or what do you want? Just
he wants to run for president. So
yeah,
like
dude,
he has to.
He has no fucking chance.
No, he doesn't. But well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are people.
Sam Brownback will never be elected president.
No,
He's
you're
a
right.
fucking idiot.
You're right. No, absolutely.
You've got to be smart. Like he's smart enough to be elected governor of Kansas, but that guy can't make it to the White House. Hillary Clinton couldn't make it to the White House.
20 years ago, there was somebody having this exact same conversation about George W. Bush.
Sarah Palin
But
made
he had a lot of smart people around.
Sarah Palin got very, very close. Very close.
Well, no, she fucking not really.
That's vice president.
Yeah, and she basically sunk McCain's entire ticket. Like if she wouldn't have been on there, picking her proved he was not capable of making big decisions.
I agree 100%.
It was close in a sense, but you know, if you gave it enough time, she would talk enough where she basically what happened in self-destruct.
But here's the point. Like, it's really easy to look at people like Sam Brownback and Sarah Palin and be like, oh, there's fucking no way we would ever vote one of those people into office. But look all over the world. Those people do get elected. Those people do find their way into powerful positions. It happens all the time, and it's happened all throughout history. And the people in those countries say the same goddamn thing. When whoever is fucking up some country somewhere, when that guy was like a local mayor or whatever, the people said the same thing. They're like, oh, this guy's an idiot. There's no way he's ever going to be in charge of our country. Then it happens. Like, that does happen. I don't know how it happens, but it does. People get panicky and scared and greedy and jealous and all of the other things that make people do stupid shit, and then they make terrible decisions, and this shit happens. I'm just saying that worse things have happened.
Such a great conversation. I mean, congratulations, gay people, but we're still going to watch the world burn.
But it pisses me off that we even have to fucking talk about this.
Oh, sure.
It should have been done a fucking long time ago. And
of course.
It's fucking insane.
Right. I mean, foundationally, what this law kind of recognizes is that homosexuals are people.
Right.
That's kind of as far as we've gotten.
Yeah. And then people are like, well, I wouldn't want to marry a dude. Well, then don't marry a dude. It's pretty simple. Like, you don't have to do that. I wouldn't want to marry your wife. That's why I didn't marry your fucking wife.
Yeah, yeah. Now that gay marriage is legal, do I have to get divorced? Is that the rule? Like, I'm straight married. I'm assuming that's now illegal. No, you're right. It's ridiculous.
We started talking about this, but I wrote a news segment on it, and I liked my lead-in, so I want to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Adam and Eve, more like go big red, yellow, green, blue, orange, and purple.
I don't know. Oh, because the
gay flag.
It's the flag, yeah.
All right.
I immediately regret trying to do that.
No, that was good. I like it.
Nah, it was good.
So
I like the voice you used. That was nice.
Gay marriage, we're all for it. As many gay marriages as possible, right?
Yes.
As many gay marriages and abortions and marijuana smoking as possible.
Well, I mean, as George Carlin famously pointed out, who's having fewer abortions than homosexuals?
Right.
Right.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why what did you say? That's why the Catholics should like them?
Yeah.
No. Cool. Will, do you have a fast foodie?
Yeah, we can talk a bit about it. Fast foodie! So, seeing as how we're talking about terrible, terrible traditions from religion that are negatively impacting all of our lives, this fast foodie, we're here to talk about fish.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but we've reached that magical time of year when, for some reason, every single fast food joint in the country simultaneously starts advertising their fish sandwich. Funny how that happens for no particular stated reason.
You're being comedically subtle.
Correct.
But there will be people listening to this who need it stated more directly.
For those of you who didn't have a nun ruining your childhood, it's Lent, that magical time of year when Catholics and presumably other Christians, right? Question mark?
I really have no idea.
Fair enough. Well, then at the very least...
I try to tune out religion as much as possible, but I am quite happy to tune in fish.
Lent is all Christianity.
I don't think it's all Christianity is a wide.
It's gotta be most of it.
I'll tell you this: I was raised Methodist, and I had never heard of Lent. But I don't know if that's because Methodists don't recognize it, or because I just didn't pay attention. I really don't know.
I was raised Catholic, but I lived in a town, like a super small town, that was mostly Methodist, and I'm pretty sure they were all on board the Lent train.
All right.
So I think you just.
It's a very boring train.
It's not going anywhere.
Right. Yeah. People are just giving up things they really want to be doing to get.
It's not even on a track now. Now it's just a food truck.
Yeah.
The only reason they're all on the train is because they gave up air travel for Lent. No, well, that was one of the things I wanted to ask about this, like the fact that we're in Lent. You have to eat fish on Fridays and on Ash Wednesday. Which, over a 40-day period, is like, what, 6 or 7 or 8 days?
Is it that you have to eat fish or that you can't eat other things?
You can't
supposed to
eat
meat.
no meat.
Right.
So fish becomes the natural...
It's still meat. It's fish meat, but it's like, it's not...
Right, but...
It's still meat from a fish.
You can't eat land meat.
Yes, fish meat is meat.
I wonder if you could eat... Can you eat turtle? They could do both.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
what can you fry yourself up a tasty water moccasin? Who knows? I don't know.
Well, if you guys had spent as much time reading your Bible as you should have, you still wouldn't.
Still wouldn't know.
It's unclear.
Right.
No, I mean, if you go back far enough, really, the reason you're supposed to eat fish, is ultimately because, like, Jesus was just, like, throwing his buddies a bone. So it's like a little free marketing for his many fisherman friends. Right. It's like, no, we're going to make sure we kick you a little business on the... It was... Because for a long time, throughout history, it was every Friday, just forever.
Right.
Then they were just like, look, we can't be dealing with this shit all year.
Mm-hmm. So Jesus was just like, red meat's okay, like cows are okay, but, like, fish are really easy to make. Is that what you're saying? Like, didn't he make fish?
He did. Well, yeah, he did. He multiplied the fish.
Okay, multiply. So, I'm not good at math, so I didn't.
Jesus was a magical man.
Yeah. Oh, he was. I mean, we none of us believe that. If any of us did,
we should ask our guest, Nick. Are you a religious man? Are you an atheist? What are you?
No, I'm a unofficial member of the KISS Army.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So, like some of our previous guests, at the end of days, you will also be raptured.
Yeah, maybe, but no. I'll
just into the essence of rock and roll.
Well, yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's the most religious I get is probably singing along to "God Gave Rock and Roll to You" by KISS.
Excellent.
I can get behind it.
Amen.
Right. Wow, man.
Cool.
Well, so fundamentally, this is the question.
I'm sorry we interrupted your sermon.
Oh yeah, no. I have many words about the glories of Long John Silver's.
Right.
No, well, fundamentally, that is the question I asked because honestly, I didn't do my research, and I don't know. I don't think it's just Catholics. I think it's a lot of Christians, if not all. But is like having to not eat meat for like 7 or 8 days out of the course of a year enough to like define the advertising of the entire like fast food industry for like a sixth of the year? I mean, that seems weird to me.
Those small windows do make a business difference. I mean, there are entire businesses that sustain themselves off of tiny windows, things like that. Like,
Oh no, and I'm well aware of that. My tiny little hometown of O'Neill, Nebraska.
Are you asking a business economics question or a religious question?
Business economics
Okay,
question.
yeah.
I'm confident in my beliefs in religious.
I thought you were going to be like, has anybody tried the new rodeo cheeseburger?
Yes. Pretty good. Rodeo chicken sandwich better.
Really?
Right.
At Burger King?
Yeah.
How's the chicken prepared? Is it like the chicken on the
Yeah,
original
it's just like
chicken
the regular like crispy chicken sandwich for $1. But then you added some onion rings on there. It's still just $1, so you got some free calories. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, no, I'm aware that like small windows can like, I'm from a little town called O'Neill, Nebraska, which its only like advertising slogan is that it gets to call itself the Irish capital of Nebraska. So they do like a huge event for St. Patrick's Day, which is the only reason that town exists.
Right.
Like one weekend, you know, they get thousands of tourists in for one weekend to go to this pissant little town just to go get drunk at dumb bars. Like, there's nothing cool there to do anyway, but they do it.
Yeah.
Like, all the hotels fill up, and I understand, sustains the town.
Right.
But, like, that it can drive, that, like, Fridays during a 40-day period can drive the fast food industry for, like, and it's only Christians, which are supposed to be dwindling according to Fox News. Like, they're supposed to be a minority now.
But that's really the essence. Right.
It's going to take a long time.
That's really the essence of your question, though. The essence of the answer to your question is that, yes, it's caused by Christians, but the business is not sustained solely from Christians because Jimmy Putnam takes advantage of 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for $4 at McDonald's multiple times.
The fillet of fish stays strong throughout the year too. My wife is forced to eat McDonald's, she will eat the fillet of fish. Filet o fish.
There may not be a less healthy food item on the planet, but it is delicious. And 2 for $4. You can't beat that.
I'm going to tell you, I haven't had that special yet, and I'll tell you why. Because in my mind, the 2 for $4 Filet-O-Fish fails the double cheeseburger test, which is, can I just get a double cheeseburger for $1.29?
Right.
Well then that's cheaper than a Filet-O-Fish for $2.
When I go to McDonald's, I hate myself. When I go to McDonald's,
when you go to McDonald's, you hate yourself. We know.
Right. I like to hit.
It's worth it.
I like to hit each of the
tastes
meats.
so
I
good.
like to get a fish thing, a chicken thing, and a beef thing.
You're crazy. Wow.
Hit a double cheeseburger, some McNuggets and a fillet of fish, or maybe you go McChicken, or
Yeah.
I like to diversify.
Have you guys ever done the buy one get one free Big Mac and eaten both the Big Macs?
Nope.
I've just bought two.
That's a bad idea.
I've just bought 2 Big Macs.
I mean, yeah,
Really?
is it? Are you suggesting
both of them?
Of course.
Are you
I-
suggesting that it's hard to eat 2 Big
No,
Macs?
I thought eating them was easy, but dealing with what it just the way I thought I was gonna die. You could feel them moving through your entire body. I was
Dealing with your body
my
rejecting
God,
it.
Yeah. No, eating them wasn't a problem. Like I could have fucking eaten a third one.
Yeah.
I
I feel that way after most meals.
Oh, yeah. No, I can feel my blood moving all the time. Okay, so on that note, I did want to talk about to see if anybody had tried any of the fish sandwiches that had cropped up. I haven't most of them, because most of them too expensive for Will Doherty's taste.
Right.
But I did treat myself, so I'll talk about this one. I did treat myself once because Long John Silver's, they're one of those people who are, I think this entire company is sustaining itself in that small window. Because I went to a Long John Silver's on a Friday, which is the only time I've eaten in a Long John Silver's, and there was another person in that Long John Silver's also eating.
Everybody's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But they have for Fridays a all-you-can-eat special, where you can just get all the fish and, like, sides, and you can just go up and order as many times as you want to.
That's horrible.
It's $9, and a lifetime of regret.
I feel
You've
like
done it more than once, though, have you?
this is one of those.
Not yet.
This is one of those things where, like, at a live sporting event, the insurance you have to have, like, makes you contractually obligated to have like a medical professional on site during the sporting event. I feel like this is in that territory. Like they should have a medical. There should be an ambulance running, like idling in the parking lot.
Defibrillator at every table.
Just all day. Yeah.
The fish sandwich. You can't taste the fish they use for like fish sandwiches and stuff like that, Long Johns. It's like the cheapest, most flavorless fish they can find.
Yeah, you can't.
You don't want anything standing in the way of the grease.
Yeah, you're tasting the
Tartar
breading
sauce.
and the tartar sauce and like that's in the fat. That's all you're eating.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah. It's not good
okay,
fish.
your voice sounds critical, but what you're describing is a feature of their product.
I'm saying, like, I used to be Christian until I found out about Lent, and I'm like, that's not carb friendly. Like, I can't do that. No longer a Christian.
Right.
Yeah, because, like, that's what you're eating. I buy fish. I like fish. Now, I can't eat it with breading and anything like that because I'm Atkins guy, right? So, like, I just, like, roll it up in foil and, like, throw it in the broiler, and that's how I eat it. Now, the cheapest fish you can get, you can't even tastes like water. You know what water tastes like? That's what this fish tastes like. Like faucet water.
I'd rather have it taste like that because I don't like the taste of fish, really.
Oh, really?
I mean,
well, yeah, the most...
I like sushi.
It's true. The most flavorful way to eat fish is raw, is sushi. That's the where you get the best taste out of the fish. The more and more you cook fish, the less and less flavor it has, and the more and more you're tasting the spices and butter and whatever you're cooking it with.
I do want to say, I feel like you made one error in that statement, which was, I'm pretty sure, because I've done a lot of really sketchy grocery shopping in my time, and I'm pretty sure the cheapest way you can buy fish is looking for the dented cans of tuna.
That's true.
All right.
All right.
Damned
Fuck
if I
you,
don't
Will.
hit the sides.
I do. I've won my sad story at this Long John Silver's. As we've established, not actually a Christian, just somebody who was enticed by the idea of a bottomless trough of fried goodness.
Oh, yeah.
But I went to this like the Fish Friday, and when I went to the counter, the ex-con who was behind the counter, I told him, I was like, I kind of like looked either way to make sure it was cool. And I was like, look, I'm not Catholic. All right. I'm just here for the fried food. So I think I can maybe get a couple of pieces of chicken instead of fish in my next basket. And he let me do it, but he also seemed super disappointed in me.
Nice. We good on that? All right,
I feel
awesome. So hit up your all-you-can-eat Long John Silver's when you get the chance.
Or
Yeah.
don't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I recommend it, but if you can find a proper Knights of Columbus and get yourself a real fish fry, even better.
Yeah.
If you know where to find them, let us know.
Right. Excellent. Okay.
This did a show in Kearney with Brad Stewart and Joey Zimmerman in the venue. It was called Gillies, I think. The venue was cool, but they had a like a marquee on a trailer that said comedy night in front of this place, and right across the street was the Knights of Columbus, and their marquee said fish fry.
Right, and their parking lot was
right across the
stuffed.
street. Right, well, theirs was on Friday. I'm sure if we would have been on the same night, nobody would have been at the show.
Right on. Well, excellent. There you go. Shall we do some
sorry, I
news?
didn't realize you had an outro. I wouldn't have started talking about that other shit.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't. We adhere very loosely to rules and format.
Jack Comstock.
Joshua Bosler News. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that? I don't know what that is. I know it's not weed, though. Lincoln, Nebraska law enforcement were apparently unfooled by a 21-year-old man's sour cream container labeled, quote-unquote, not weed. As the Lincoln Journal-Star reports, the unnamed man was pulled over about 9 p.m. on Saturday on suspicion of drunken driving. During a subsequent search of the man's vehicle, cops found the 16-ounce container under the driver's seat with, despite its seemingly crystal clear label, about 11 grams of weed were inside. The man is charged with not drinking under the influence of alcohol and not possessing less than an ounce of weed.
Did you? There was another story like that where somebody in Washington State was transporting cocaine, and they had a vanity license plate that said smuggler, and they were
Nice.
and they were driving cocaine across the border. I think the story was that there was a hotel called the Smuggler's Inn that they were the owner of or something. So the license plate was an advertisement for that. But it was just kind of funny. They got pulled over like trucking cocaine and Leslie the smuggler.
Does a vanity license plate constitute probable cause?
I don't know. I think that was incidental in that case. But in this case, I love this guy. I love the container that says not weed. That is funny because like, what was going through that guy's head when he did that was like, if they find this, I'm fucked anyway. Like, might as well have some fun with it. I love that.
It's like murdering somebody and then putting a sign on that says "not dead."
And the cops looked at that and said, "I can't believe it's not weed."
It's like,
Hey-o! Will's got jokes.
yeah. I think that guy should be applauded. Do you want to play one of these clips?
Yeah, let's play some clips.
Okay, so Josh has been finding funny clips online.
Yeah.
Of audio that we can pull. So this one is from.
Is this the news one?
Yeah.
This is my pick for clip of the week.
All right. So this is news anchor Christy Capel.
Yeah.
And she's talking about the Oscars.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people last night with this tribute to the Sound of Music. Afterwards, Julie Andrews joined her on stage, gave her a hug, and called it wonderful.
It was wonderful.
It's very impressive, though, isn't it?
It's hard to really hear her voice.
Lady Gaga.
With all the jigaboo music that she do, whatever you want to call it, jigaboo.
Yeah, she has a nice voice.
She's a gorgeous voice.
Okay, so
that happened.
That's
jigaboo music. When I was typing up my show notes, I don't know why I found this interesting. I was typing the word jigaboo, and spell checks gave me the thumbs up. Okay, that was a word to them.
Like
that?
Maybe you've been writing gibberish poetry in your sleep. Okay, spell check is just used to it.
And I want people to know, like, her co-anchor is this black dude. And he just, how professional. He just played it off like it was just nothing.
Legitimate question. I don't know that. Is that a racist word?
Yeah.
Or is that just, Is that what that means?
It's super racist.
Okay, I've never heard it.
I don't know what that means.
I hadn't heard it either.
I don't think she knew what it meant. I don't think she thought it. Apparently, she's from the South, and she had just like an uncle would say it about music one time, and she just thought it was just like, oh, it's like, catchy music.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. No,
right.
It's a word that old racist people basically use as a soft N.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't Jay-Z go by Jigga though?
Yeah, he also goes by soft N,
right, yeah.
which he gets to because he's a Jay-Z.
Right.
I would say I'm going to change my name to that, but I just thought if it was so offensive that he wouldn't do it.
So this is like one of those situations where we're not sure which kind of stupid she is. Like she either didn't know what that word meant and used it anyway, because there's nothing wrong with not knowing, like having heard that word.
No, I assume she just didn't have any context for it, because I assume like she was just in her mind just being a perfectly professional, news person at that moment.
What a weird way of describing Lady Gaga's music too. Like what? Like why would you use that word to describe what is basically the most mainstream version of pop music?
Because that's what your weird racist uncle described, like popular music,
catchy, like dancing music. Like that's
right.
I thought it was weird at the beginning of the clip, though. She went, "That's wonderful." She said something that was all weird.
All right, you got one more news story?
Yeah.
Let's do one more and then take it home.
Hey, you dig? You dig? All right, I didn't have all right, fuck it. A New Hampshire woman has pled guilty to charges of criminal mischief, interference with the cemetery, conspiracy, and abuse of a corpse after being arrested for digging up her father's corpse, looking for the quote-unquote real will. The woman told police she did not receive anything when her father died and had been thinking of digging up the grave for years to prove her sister hid the will inside the grave. In a written statement to police, the woman wrote, "All this was done for the right reason, and I know my father would be okay with it."
I love, this is another one of those just like insane thought processes of like, you know what I bet happened?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's no way that he just didn't leave me anything. I bet the will is hidden with him in his grave, and I'm going to prove it.
And it sounds like the sister got stuff and she didn't. She's like, God damn it, I know what she did with the real will.
Right,
And she,
right.
like, put it in. Apparently, it was a weird, I didn't include it in the story, but they didn't find the will, but they found a bottle of vodka and a pack of cigarettes.
Did she take those?
Oh, no, like in the coffin?
Yeah.
That's like, that makes sense. That's like,
really?
That's like an Irish thing.
People
Like
do
an
that,
Irish
yeah.
wake, they like bury him with like whiskey. and
Sinatra was buried with a bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We put a little bag of peanuts in my grandpa's pocket because he liked eating peanuts and shit.
Huh. All
yeah,
right.
that's actually a common thing.
Cool. I should know that.
I mean, well,
I'm going to take a didgeridoo with
I mean,
me.
it starts with the pharaohs, you know?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
right. Except they got buried with servants.
Right,
It's a
right.
little different. Well, here's the thing. Like, you're right. She's crazy. But at the same time, I've got to say, like, I'm kind of on her side a little bit, because this seems like a classic victimless crime. Like, really, like, she's getting charged with abusing a corpse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a crime? Is that a crime you can do? Because
Yeah,
corpses,
I mean,
only in every
corpses
state.
aren't people.
No, but it's the desecration of a grave is... Are you asking if that's
Well, but
actually
that
a
was
crime or if it's ethically wrong?
Well, no, but both questions really. But like,
It's
here's
both.
the thing: it was a different crime. Like the like fucking with the cemetery. Like in the list of charges, it was like invading the cemetery and like all that stuff. But then it was also abuse of a corpse. So it's like,
oh, right.
what? It's an object. You can't abuse. Like you can't get charged with abuse of a table.
As like a hardcore atheist, I 100% agree with you ethically. Like I don't.
Yeah, so you all on board about necrophilia or what? Because the same principle would apply.
I don't see the appeal, but I don't like.
This would be the opposite of necrophilia. Like a necrophiliac would be sexually attracted to a corpse,
Yeah.
but like
they want to fuck corpses.
we're talking about it's just like the absence of humanity, like the absence
Right,
of
my
any appeal
question
at all.
to Will was though, like, should be a crime to have sex with dead bodies?
No.
Yes, it should.
Here's the thing.
Dude.
Here's the thing.
Okay, you did it.
I've never seen you so positive about an issue.
Here's the thing. Like I feel like it shouldn't extend.
Yeah, talk your way out of this.
A person like does a person have the right to define what happens to their own body? Like
Yes.
if a person's
Yeah.
after they die?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
like you can put that in your will.
Yeah, but like okay, but if you make like demands for your body, then that legally should have to be carried out.
Yeah, why
Like-
not?
There's laws that bodies have to be buried, and there's certain laws that like have to happen.
Dying for sure does not absolve any of your legal obligations or contracts.
Right.
I mean, I guess
Well, not any, but like
fundamentally, with the question of like, should necrophilia be illegal? There's public safety concerns, I guess, but like, who cares? Like, if somebody else wants to fuck a dead body, who's being hurt?
You say
in
that until
interaction?
you're like, hey, your ghost goes around your own grave,
My
and some guy's
ghost.
just fucking railing your body, and like,
First
It's in his will.
yeah. You have no
First of all,
choice. You have fucking if you want to have sex with something, the other participant should have to be willing. A corpse is never going to be willing.
But it's an object. Does a fucking fleshlight have to give consent? It's a thing. It's
I
not
will.
a person.
I will
still-
say this. This is
It's a
not.
body.
This
It's different. than
I
a
will
flesh
say
bone.
this. This is not really an answer to your question. I mean, I think your point is that this is not an answer to your question, but I do find it supremely unsettling.
Yeah,
No,
it's gross. I'm not here to promote it. I'm just saying, like, who cares? Why would it be?
I mean, that's what I think I'm saying I do. Like, I'm like, this is not a law that I'm going to fight against. Like, I think weed should be legal. I think gay marriage should be legal. But I'm not going to court being like, let's get rid of this anti-corpse fucking campaign. This is ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to go vote
Give us
for
our
it.
rights back, government.
Yeah. First of all, where's the libertarian on this one? Huh? Where's Mr. Personal Freedom?
U.S. government, stay out of our graves. I'm not going to get that drop. I'm leaving that one alone. Well, that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, it is.
Let's take it home. What do you guys say?
It's your
Where are we going to be doing comedy this week, people? This episode is going to be dropping on Thursday, March 5th, I think is the Thursday. March 5th. I am going to be at the OK Party Comedy Battle Royale at the Waiting Room in Benson. What do you guys got going on?
This Thursday, Will and I are in Comedy Underground.
Nice.
Yeah, at Brewski's at 8 o'clock on the day this comes out, Thursday.
What's coming up for you, Nick?
Thursday the 5th, I'm hosting at the Funny Bone, Thursday through Sunday.
Cool. Who's the headliner?
Chris Frangiola.
No, not familiar.
I haven't met him before.
Yeah. All right. Well,
he used
cool.
to write for Chelsea lately or something.
Everybody go to the Funny Bone and laugh at Nick, and if you feel like staying for the headliner, do it. Otherwise, you basically get your show right at the start.
Yeah, 10 minutes, baby.
Cool. Well,
you can.
I don't know why I said baby after that. I feel like a fucking douche now.
You can find me at the Linwood Memorial Cemetery.
Also, for sure, everybody come to the Pilgrimer Saturday, March 7th at 8 p.m. and see Epic Improv, where I will be playing guitar while people improvise a full 1 hour show on stage. It's going to be super great with Tracy Mock drawing comedic backgrounds for them to perform. It's my favorite comedy show, and I'm so excited that I get to be part of it. I'm like giddy about it and super nervous, but come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for listening. If you've got any questions or comments, post on our Facebook feed or send us an email to thejimmycurve@gmail.com. Nick, throw us out your Twitter handle or Facebook, or where can we find you? Where can we learn about you?
At Nick's Allens on Twitter.
Nick's Allens on Twitter.
I'm on Facebook. I don't really do a whole lot online.
All right, well, good.
We could tell
it could only get you in trouble.
We could tell that from the handful of disheveled papers you pulled out of your pockets. That was your entire smartphone system.
Yeah.
And for my co-hosts, Joshua Vossler.
Bye.
Will Doherty.
I don't want to fuck corpses, you guys.
And our special guest, Nick Allen.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and for our new sponsor, It's Your Boykin Sausage.
Yo! It's your Boykin Sausage, letting you know that this episode of the Jimmy Curve is brought to you by the best sausage on the planet. If you've had It's Your Boykin Sausage before, you'll know. If you haven't had It's Your Boykin Sausage before, eat some fucking It's Your Boykin Sausage. You will never look at meat encased inside a tube the same way again in your entire life. Spring is coming up. Stockpile this shit. Put it in your freezer. When it gets cold outside, open up your freezer, look at the sausage, and think about how good it's gonna taste when you grill that shit when it's nice outside. Keep supporting the Jimmy Curve and look for It's Your Boykin Sausage in esteemed grocers all over the country.
I am your host, Jimmy Putnam. This song is called I'm Gonna Put You Down, and it's by a band called Gangsta Grass. Thank you. Good night.
niggas can't move me, I'm focused. Run the streets like a rumor, whip appeal is like a Ferris wheel. And everything that's said, I says it real. Ice grill your team, me. See, I love the hood and the hood loves me. It's a thin line between hate and love. Crossing and take a slug, that'll erase your mug. So embrace the thug or get placed above. People ask how I follow God and still curse. It's the lingo of the hood, damn it, you don't understand it. So while you're all in church preaching the upper class, kissing ass, I'm in the trenches with gangsters, showing them ways to get paid without pushing powder, but pushing power. If you don't know the hood, then don't speak unless you're spoken to. Your comments will end up choking you or stomping you, I promise you.
Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cocoa ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, I'm gonna put you down. Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cocoa ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, I'm gonna put you down.
I roam with goons, little homie, they get it poppin'. Click clack, click clack, click clack, bodies dropping. They were drunk when they missed you, but that was luck. They coming through tomorrow, shorty, that's what's up. Cock back, they dang dang, hit you with the bang bang. Stand over your body and hit you with the same thing. We were tight for a minute, riding the same lane. You switch colors, say goodbye to your brain, man. Thought I was banging your wifey, it wasn't me. You got stomped at that party, now that was me. Face to face, only a bitch dude snuffs you. Like gun talk, only a real dude bust you. Don't get bust in your eye in front of your girl, blood dripping on your Timbos. Fuck your world. I bump dudes when I walk in the hood. Shit ain't pretty. From the X to Brick City, I spit gritty.
Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cocoa ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, I'm gonna put you down. Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cocoa ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, I'm gonna put you down.
Dumb fucks think rap music causes violence, and they albums that made Bush put Iraq to silence. Vietnam Desert Storm wasn't because of Killer Cam, Mob Deep, 50 Cent, or Game. Hey, chicks be spazzing out thinking I'm crazy. Forget a baby, go half on a 380. Roll that, take two and pass that. My songs are like thorns cause they get all up in your ass crack.
Dig a